contribute.
It doesn't matter if I'm wholesome. I don't want you to be wholesome. And I think that's okay to want.
I think that's okay with you wanting that too, but do you want her to be your person?
I'm sorry?
Do you want that same person that's not wholesome to be your person?
No, I'm not looking for a person.
Well, I'm just saying in the idea, if you think about that, then maybe she's looking for a person. That's why she's being wholesome if she wanted to be the hoe.
But you don't want to be wholesome with everybody else.
But you heard through the grapevine she was giving that pussy out.
And it's not even the grapevine. It's like what she's presenting.
Yeah, but you're obviously the man that provides rings, so you move differently in those spaces.
You know, I think where I effed up was telling a young lady that I have a toxic trait of making love when there's no love.
That's what you told her?
Yeah.
What'd she say?
It didn't matter what she said.
Better question is, did you tell her that as game?
No, it was just like sometimes it was just talking
dope.
like I was just fucking talking.
Nah,
that's a good line.
But then that make him like a target.
You'd be like,
she's
I
like,
think
I can just bring the bare minimum and then he can just make something out of nothing and then.
But what you missing is that they're not bringing the bare minimum.
No, I didn't get that at all. It's just like got experience of the sex. And she said, oh, that's what it was. Now you can't have it unless we serious.
Oh, so you put it down, and then it was like a realization. Like,
but that came from not wanting to be in nobody's group chat.
Why do you always think that someone's putting you in
that's
a
a
group
thing.
chat?
That's not me, but I've heard that
in the group chats that you're in. Do they do that? Do they like put in like information about their sexual
Let's go to the next. We don't talk about group chats.
You're just talking about a group chat just now.
I was talking about someone else's group chat. We don't talk about our group chat.
But it's in this idea that you always believe that someone will be throwing someone's intimate parts in a group chat.
Right.
It sounds like you've been privy to a lot of group chats where that has happened. Because the only idea that you would get that idea from...
The idea of that came from women telling me, even Tiff told me, like, niggas could end up in the group chat. I've heard that. Like, that's that. I didn't just think of this and just start moving.
I didn't think that you just
I've
thought
heard
of that.
multiple
I just
women
think that you are privy to a group chat that happens to do these things. That's all. Allegedly.
No, I'm saying, like, I've heard multiple women, multiple.
Because I believe that men do it too.
Right now you're talking about women, women's.
We do sometimes, but it got to be amazing. We don't just put everybody in the group chat.
You don't put everybody in the
everybody
group chat?
Don't go in the group chat.
Of course
everybody
not.
Don't go in the group chat.
And we don't talk about bad sex in the group chat either. It's always good sex. Unless that junk stink. If that junk stink, if that junk stink, like if she just a pillow princess, then we not gonna say nothing.
He said,
but if that junk stink, you in the chat. You in the chat, ladies.
You don't have any words?
Yeah, listen, that was always my thing, and it just became like regular. It just became regular. I mean, even starting from literally from high school into my adulthood, I was just moving like that, coming like that, like every single time. Like everybody got their days, but I mean, just like I'm trying to like sex, like really like sex you type of thing, like really.
Sex you up.
Yeah.
Full experience.
Yeah, but don't leave this. Cause it just echoes in my head when chick said, "You know what you did to me. You know how you made me feel." And I'm like,
man.
Oh,
yeah.
Are you saying that you do this like intentionally?
I've done it so many times intentionally. That's how I rock.
You don't know how.
And then when I went and rocked out, I remember I had this hood chick one time. I see it right now. She babied up. She wasn't used to the sexing, and she had told my bitch. This was before I was with my bitch.
Okay.
She said to her, he was like going slow, like she was describing sensual sex, and I'm like, yeah, and my bitch was, at the time was like, she was like, she used to getting bucked, like, fuck, you know what I'm saying, like, so when that's what she said, like,
wow,
like, she used to getting fucked,
and niggas like,
it was the motion for me.
Get buck.
All right,
to
go ahead.
ground and pound.
Let's go with some banter real quick. Had to write it down so I didn't forget. Banter. One person, and it doesn't have to be a rich person, but one person that you wish you could meet today.
Say it. One person.
One person that you wish you could meet today. It doesn't have to be a rich person. It can be anybody that you have ever met in life or encountered in life, or that you see on TV, on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you see them. If you could meet one person today, who would it be and why?
I would beat Jimi Hendrix, and first time ever in life, I would do a hallucinogen with him.
I like that.
Maybe LSD,
Okay.
but I would never do that.
Well, if you take it right now, you can still meet him.
No.
Meet him?
Is this too deep of a question for
I would
banter?
never get that. I would never do that.
Please don't, man.
But if he came back,
So you would,
I'm
man.
doing that.
But you can't say never.
Alright. So,
Take that shit and start
but the
saying
possibility of him coming back, no, he's not coming back. So I'm not.
No, if you take it, you'll probably see him. But
Nigga, what you trying to do? Get me on some
I ain't
shit?
trying to. Hell no, I ain't doing nothing.
No,
I ain't doing
I ain't
nothing.
doing shit.
never do that.
I would say Dame Dash.
Really? What?
Just with the whole Rockefeller movement meant to me, and how much hip hop means to me in general. So to meet Dame Dash and to see that he's literally the same exact person who I saw on TV, and I can see it in his Instagram when he's on live. Like, he's literally the same exact person. I would want to meet Dame Dash in person for sure.
So, Gigi?
Can I just go last?
Sure. I think at 29 years old, I would like to meet my dad. At this age.
Oh, I love that.
Like, I know what I got. Like, I think, like, seeing my mom, growing up with my mom, I see what I got from her. There's a lot of things about me that I want to know what I got from him. So, like, certain things about myself, like, I wonder if, like, my characteristics match his. So, I think it would be my pops.
I love that. I love that. I'd be very curious to know too. I'd want to meet him and see if, like, that's great. So I was thinking, you guys, and like I was going through all of that. And at one point I was like, just pass me, because I didn't think that I would have someone. But then I thought about, I had to think of the name, Dr. Sebi. Are you guys familiar with him?
Yeah.
He's like a herbalist, like a natural healer. He had passed away, yeah. And I think that, like, in this part of my life where I'm kind of like, I don't want to say retraining my body, but I'm learning my body and what it likes to eat, what it doesn't like to eat, what works well with it, and what it doesn't. And I think to have, like, an experience with an individual such as himself, I think I would learn a lot of things, and I think the experience would, like, do a lot for me. So that's what popped into my head at that moment when you brought that up.
I think we all got a reason why we want to meet. I think meeting people is cool. I think you learning new things from people is important to do, even no matter what age you are. Or that's just me personally. That was probably our shortest banter. I think the banter before that was even more banter. But we good?
It's that woman accountability question that we talked about earlier that I don't like.
We could make that a topic.
Sorry.
I'll change my whole topic just to be that, because I would love to hear.
I just want to understand that.
Changing my topic. Let's start the show.
What was that noise?
No, was that it? That was
Yo, welcome to Convo 57. 757 of Just a Conversation with Greg, Mr. RENTMONEY, and Gigi. I am your host, Greg, and I am doing very, very fine today. And I'm joined by my beautiful friends and co-hosts, my brother, Mr. RENTMONEY. How's it going?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I'm doing better.
Doing better. Ooh, better. Like that.
Yeah,
Doing better.
I'm doing better.
I like that. And we also are joined by our sister, Gigi. How's it going, Gigi?
Hi, everyone.
Is this one of those days?
I feel like
She tried. She tried not to come with the energy. And as soon as she said hi, guys, the whole cheesing came out. You can't be doing that. Just be true to yourself.
Yeah. Okay, Greg, I'm sorry about that. So, hi. I'm doing okay. Doing pretty good. This week was all right. I mean...
Just one of them days.
Yeah, Monica. Shout outs to her. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Our brother, our engineer, the person that makes it sound good, K Blaze, is back. He beat COVID. He went 10 rounds with COVID and whipped COVID's ass. What's going on, K Blaze?
COVID really didn't have a chance. He knocked me out in the second round, but after that, I just outclassed him.
You Floyd that nigga?
Floyd that nigga. You already know. Floyd versus Shane Mosley. But
sounds like you still got some back there though.
Oh nah, you.
The shit lingering. It's hanging on. Got him against the ropes.
Had one of them, Just had one of them baby birdmen. You feel me?
No, I don't even know what that is.
No, I've never heard that term a day in my life.
No.
Red Star Top.
You still losing me.
Yeah,
Birdman's tattoo is a star on his head.
Oh.
And when
No.
when he's like this, it's
I'm with
actually
you.
a Baphomet.
I got it. But I'm here now. I'm here now, and that's okay. And you know what? They don't pay us, so we don't advertise. How about that?
I wholeheartedly
I
agree
did
with
not say any names.
I like it.
that. Smart man. Thinking like a businessman.
Yeah.
It's great. So yeah, let's jump into some topics. I'm gonna start because we're gonna go back to the conversation that we was having off the mic about
Way back.
women not showing accountability. Did I say that right? Or women don't?
I don't know. That's the conversation you guys started having, and I just was like,
I don't know if they think about accountability, but they definitely don't show it.
Well, I'm gonna say this. My definitive statement is I think women think that they hold themselves accountable, but they really not.
give me an
in most
example.
situations.
Yeah, give me an example of how they're not.
It's when you say anything like, I understand where you're coming from, but, or I did this wrong. Yes, I did, but. As soon as you say but, accountability goes out the window.
And why do you think all women? Do you think all women do that?
Most. I don't want to say all because I don't know all women. The women I do know.
At least 85%.
Yeah, the number has to be like really
I see,
high.
because I don't believe that. I think that, we're also not taking into account what the scenario is and where we're having this conversation, right? Because maybe I'm just acknowledging how you feel, even though you're wrong. Right.
No, you're wrong.
How?
In this situation,
We don't even know what the scenario is for you to just say that I'm wrong.
Can I paint a clear picture?
Go ahead.
Clear picture. Me and my spouse have said on numerous occasions, we will always wipe the stove off after we cook. She cooks.
Yeah.
She doesn't wipe the stove off.
Okay.
In that moment, she is wrong. Because we've agreed that in that, like when whoever is done cooking, we are wiping the stove off.
Yeah.
She finished cooking. I repeat, she finished cooking and did not wipe the stove off.
Yes.
I come home. Why the stove dirty?
Yeah.
Instead of her saying, that was on me, my bad. She might go, no, not might. Most of the time, in my experience, it goes, it was me that did that, but it's because accountability goes out the window.
Yeah, it's like when it's me is something, but when it's you is nothing.
Okay, so I don't believe that.
Okay.
I don't believe that, and I don't think I'm always like that either. I don't think I'm like that. You think I'm like that, Greg?
Why you put me on the spot like that?
Because and no one else could speak to it except you.
You say but a lot.
I say but?
You say but a lot.
Yes, because you be saying the bullshit, and I be like, but Greg.
See?
It's because you're saying bullshit.
What bullshit did I be saying? I think I speak nothing but true facts.
No. You speak on speculation, thoughts, sometimes observation, and how you're feeling at that moment.
Very true.
Because if you're feeling great, you might support a nigga. And if you're not,
I support you all the time.
I didn't say me specifically.
Well, I support most people. That's not true. I support my friends.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't think all women are like that. I think maybe some of the women that you have interacted with are like that, but I think that there are a majority of women that will say, okay, yeah, like I fucked up. And
but
it doesn't always have to be a but.
I know that.
I can say I fucked up and I'll get it done right now.
Okay, that's being accountable.
Okay, and I feel like I've done that. Greg, like you, well, I haven't.
You do it.
Okay.
Do you do it often?
Done. I don't even care how often it is. You can't tell me something that I don't do it, but I do it.
We get right back to it, baby.
We
get right back to it.
No.
We hit the point.
So you're saying that? So
we just hit it with you.
With your topic, so you're saying that women are less accountable than men?
Way less.
Wait a minute. Let's bring it all the way back.
Now, there are men who do not take accountability.
So many.
And we don't even... Actually, the standard of a man is being accountable. So we don't even count them niggas as men. Okay, they're still boys.
Okay, so that's not even fair.
No, it is fair.
Because then how do you separate girls from women? How do you separate girls from women then?
You tell us.
No, at this point, you guys are accountability, and I can tell you I know a lot of men.
You're not going to sit here and disagree with gender roles. The standard to be considered a man, the qualifications are completely different from what it is for a woman to be considered a woman.
I can understand that completely. What you're saying,
a guy would be considered a boy,
but no,
can't be wipe your own ass. That's the type of
you
shit
guys
want to
sit here and make it seem like there's men that have clearly no jobs, have no education, and literally are waiting for women to take care of it.
So you're using the wrong word.
This is ridiculous. So how do you separate girls from women at that point? If you're telling me that those are not men, because obviously they're able to still have children and are able to have full-time jobs.
That's why
they don't.
I disagree with that.
I don't see how you can say that a woman is less accountable. This is the same individual that has to carry a child.
I just think women get away with it more.
Huh? I'm sorry. Why are you mentioning?
Because I think you and again, I think you guys are using it more of your experiences yourself, and then the actual general consensus of the idea of accountability for women.
How else would anyone gather some type of consent without personal experience?
Right.
Because you guys have said it was most women.
I said most. I didn't. I don't know everyone.
And you think that most women are
from my experience, from my friends' experience, from friends concurring,
Right.
All right. So I'm going to say, you know what? You are right. You are so right, Mr. Red Money. And I'm going to say I apologize for all your experiences and the women that you decide that you want to be around.
No, that's
not the women that I'm around.
What I just said.
That's not even the type of men that I'm around.
I didn't just You literally just bypassed what I said. I said, not only am I referring to my own personal experiences, I'm basing this off of my friends concurring, like, hell yeah, that too.
You guys
That's
all
not
clearly share the same type of experiences.
What else are you gauging this on? Like, what are you talking? If I don't see it or somebody else didn't concur with me,
so
what else would I be?
So if every man in the room agreed with us, then is that the consensus?
For you guys and your experiences.
Every man in the world?
No.
We should do a poll about that.
I'm confused on what your question is.
I'm saying
because now I feel like we're bickering on what exactly.
No. I'm gonna bring it back, but just to answer this directly, you're saying you are sorry for our experiences.
Yes, because you're telling me that in your experiences that the women that you have encountered do not hold themselves accountable.
But what if we all had that experience?
But we're all saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're all saying that it's not just our experience, it's not just our immediate friends' experience, but men, like when you talk to men, random men, they would agree with us on the same level.
Okay, and I'm going to say that maybe the men that you're interacting with,
and that's fair,
have these views, which makes sense to me. I happen not to know those same types of men.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, obviously outside of y'all, I don't think that a man would tell me that a woman is less accountable than a man.
Yeah, they would.
If they was really your friend and they was really being honest, they would tell you.
I think you're being overly confident with that one.
I don't
honestly. What do you think about accountability as it relates to
I don't
gender?
think accountability has a gender. I think you can be anybody, whether it's him, her, or they. That could be accountable or not could be accountable. Everyone. So you're not going to tell me one person, like in a whole group of people, like, oh, these women are not accountable, but these men right here, they're going to make sure the job's done. Absolutely not. I don't believe that.
So you don't believe that on any subject?
No, I don't believe that. I don't think it has anything to do with gender. I think it has to do with the individual. If you're going to be accountable, you're going to be accountable. It doesn't matter the type of sex that you are. I think, and if you're not, it doesn't matter either. You can't tell me one is more than the other. If we were in, like I said, if we had to separate men and women and something had to get done, you can't tell me that women can't do it because we're women. And I'm not going to tell you that a man can't do it because he's a man outside of...
Oh, no.
Outside of childbirth.
No, it's a whole bunch of things. Like, it's a whole bunch of things. That could go all day. Like, naturally, you're not going to say... Okay, prime example. If you look at the WNBA... versus the NBA, athleticism alone, there is a distinct difference between the athleticism that is in the WNBA, which is women who've been playing basketball for all of their lives, and the athleticism for men who've been playing basketball all of their lives.
But they both can play basketball.
That's not the point.
They both can hit a three.
That's not the point.
If you put the NBA NBA team up against the all WNBA team, they will get smashed.
So can I jump in? Because I agree with you to an extent. I don't fully agree, but correct me from what I think you're getting at is like when you watch the NBA, you could even take out sports, but a man's physical stature is different from a woman. So what a man can do physically is different from what a woman can do physically.
But what does that have to do with accountability?
You now said that you don't believe that just because...
Why are we leaving accountability? The reason why we're in this space has nothing to do with...
Because he was responding to what you said.
You literally just now said...
that if we were in a group...
This is recorded.
Women group... I know I edited.
Well, you'll have a good time editing this because what you just now said. You said you can't say just because a man is a man or just because a woman is a woman, she can do this or he can't do that. Correct?
Yes, and that's the same thing.
That's why.
So you're saying that.
But
that's what I'm trying to say is that you're talking about physique. Obviously, you're a man and I'm a woman. But at the same time, I could shoot a three just like you could shoot a three, and I could hit a free throw just like you could hit a free throw.
Understand, but
so my thing is that like I want to go back to the idea of accountability. That's where I'm at. Is that in a room of 5 men and 5 women, and it had to come with accountability. It wouldn't matter which sex it was. It would really be about the individuals in that group. That's what I'm coming to the basis of.
One thing I've I see very common amongst men. I'm not talking about cheating, just in general. Like, yeah, I did that, or yeah, or I'm naturally people think about cheating when it comes as it pertains to accountability.
I was not, but I understand.
You weren't. Oh, okay. But it's a very common a very common thing for men to stray away from the reality of what was done as it pertains to infidelity. But it's very common for a guy, from what I see, for my friends I've grown up with, just to say, yeah, even in casual conversation, yes, I did that, but it's for me, for what I've seen, even not just even in my experience, many women, most women, not just many women, most women will stray. There's always something else instead of just, it won't just be just that. Did you do this where you were wrong? Yes or no? This is a yes or no question.
Yeah.
Yes or no? But this that.
But you always
Gigi,
leave the what's the
I
name in the shower
literally-
now. You always do this. You always do that.
This is a yes or no question. Yes or no? Well, I mean, that, this and all that. Hey, let's focus on this very, very simple question that I'm asking you. It's even on TV, like it's everywhere. This is a very common like joke, like for men to get frustrated with women as it pertains to this topic. Like just being able to answer simple questions. Yo, this is a yes or this could be very, very simple, and it's like drawn out with this like long, elaborate excuse as of why this was done or wasn't done.
Okay, I understand.
So you concur?
No,
She taking accountability. That's a step. That's a step.
No, she's being an
That's a
ass.
step.
That's what's happening.
That's a step. That's a step.
No, I get it.
You can understand it.
She know that was done in here a few times. Like where it was just a yes or no question. It could be. In fact, yes or no questions is I feel like guys do very well at that shit. Like practicality.
I do not.
Practicality amongst most men is the shit. Just this or that. If you just do this, I'll be alright. Like, if you don't do that, I won't be alright. Pretty simple. It's like, here's an example. You said you wasn't hungry. I go to the store and get myself something to eat. Why you didn't get me nothing to eat? Nigga, you said I asked you before I left this house. Do you want something? I'm looking you square in your eyes. But what goes on is like this, like, oh, did you think about me type of like deeper? No, I'm asking you a very, very simple question. These are very, very, this is not me just making this up from my own personal experience. I know you've probably experienced this where you were the person who expected.
You can't just
that.
assume. You gotta ask.
I just
Well,
think
well,
that
this is
if
what
a
At
we
least
have.
man-
be honest and say, yes, I am hungry.
I can
Get me
assume.
something.
I like how like that's a consensus amongst men, knowing that that's a thing that happens that women do anyway, and then you guys get frustrated. So why not always just buy extra food?
Why don't
Because
you-
sometimes
I
it's
do.
not
I've learned my
about.
lesson.
It's not about. I'm not hungry right now. You asked me if I was hungry. I wasn't. But now you're eating, and now it smells good, and now I want to taste it.
I try not to eat in the presence because I don't want shit.
And so at that moment, I think that like I get it.
Before I get there,
I get it. It's a thing. It's a thing that women do, but I think that men should take more accountability for it. You know that's a thing. Stop complaining about it.
No,
wait a minute.
That's a good flip. That's a good flip. Y'all may disagree with her, but that's a good flip.
No, it's not. It actually proves a point.
It proves the point.
You were asked a very, very simple question. Hey, we can meet each other halfway. Are you hungry? And it can even be this. No, but I might be a little bit later. You're asking someone else to use your mind for you?
No.
Someone asks you, are you hungry? And when your reply is, I may not be hungry now, but I may be hungry later.
Yeah.
So wouldn't the logical thing be, you know what, baby, I'm not hungry right now. But since you're out there, can you give me something a little bit later? I may be a little hungry.
I don't think that you're wrong. But I think that knowing that this is something that has been done for decades, it's happened in a lot of men's lives. Why
how does that fall on? How does that fall on the person who asked you?
Because you're still upset about it.
No, but how does it fall on? It's not like it's not something that upset the woman.
Yes. Well, okay. So how I see it is, it doesn't fall on the person as long as you want to share your food. You don't want to share your food with me?
No.
That's why I asked.
No.
Yo, I really don't.
No.
I'm trying to eat all that shit before
but now
I get
want
her.
some. So
a little bit of dry ketchup.
So now I want some. So are you going to give me some or not?
I already ate it.
You wouldn't have done that in front of me.
I would share. I would have no choice but to
I know
share.
that's different. Of course, I'm gonna share.
So at this point, it's always going to be on you.
But this is the accountability.
Okay.
This is what we're talking, and that's where the
Did I say
lack of
accountability
falls on the
accountability.
man, like we said.
And that's where the lack of accountability
Wait.
falls. Like you're saying that someone else, instead of you, the accountable, we're expecting for you to be accountable. You're pushing it on. That's
So you just gave me scenarios for when you gave me two.
Based off of what you just now said.
You gave me two. You gave me two. Go ahead.
Based off of what you just now said.
Yeah.
After all of these years, you should just know to get her favorite cheeseburger that doesn't have onions.
I didn't say that.
Whatever. I'm just giving a
I know,
random.
but you like to say that things are recorded, and that's not the words that I said.
Right, so it's recorded. You'll see that you didn't say that.
Okay.
You'll see that that's not accountability.
Okay, but it still falls on you.
And
that's called not being accountable for your own hunger.
Nope, I'm gonna eat.
In this case, you wouldn't have eaten.
Why?
Because I already ate that shit.
You would have got me.
Gone.
You would have got me food.
Bing bong.
The accountability has to, are you seriously saying you don't see where the lack of accountability is?
I am telling you that for me, if
that's a yes or no question.
You having this conversation, I'm going to tell you if I'm hungry or not.
Okay, but did you see the lack of accountability?
I'm telling you that depending on whoever you're talking to,
remember the yes or no question.
If they're not hungry, why am I going to say yes?
Are you seeing the lack of accountability?
Because I wasn't hungry, and I told you that I wasn't hungry.
Yes. This is a yes or no question, really.
The lack of accountability comes from you saying that you're not hungry.
Yeah.
And then when the man doesn't think to get you something anyway, you saying that he should have thought of you.
No, my thing is that
that's what you said.
No, let me tell you what I'm saying is that if you come to me and you tell me that are you hungry? I'm going to get food and I'm not hungry. I'm going to tell you no. Now I may have not even thought about food. I'm telling you that now you brought the food home. I smell it. I probably even had a little session and now I'm hungry. Maybe I wasn't thinking about food now. No. At this point, if we're already in the same vicinity, whether I'm going to eat now or later or whatever, that you now have food and now I'm hungry.
I understand that, but what I don't know about them. What I'm responding to is like a couple minutes ago, you said, you asked us if we knew that was a thing.
Yeah.
Then we should hold ourselves accountable and make sure that we have
at that
food.
point, like
because it keeps because it keeps happening. And what they're saying is that no, you reverse the you put the accountability back on the man for you not wanting the food. Like you're saying that.
But I wasn't hungry.
Earlier, I'm just based on your first scenario. You were saying not you specifically, but you said that if you knew that when you start eating, like you should have thought about me regardless. That's pretty much what you said. You should have thought about me regardless.
I think the idea that you're asking me if I'm hungry because you're going to get food is that you're thinking about me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to say, no, I'm not hungry.
So I just got to keep thinking about you.
No, you don't have to keep doing anything. Look, what I tried to explain to you is that the idea is that it helps you. It helps you more than it helps me. I'm going to be hungry at some point, right? Even if I told you no. My accountability is that I told you.
Go get your own fucking food.
You wouldn't do that.
Very true. I would not do that.
You wouldn't do that. No. And you wouldn't do that either.
That's not...
Can we take it back to ground zero?
No. Listen. Yo, you really know me, man.
I do, nigga.
Listen.
I get what you're saying.
It just depends on who we talking to.
I get what you're saying.
Let me explain myself.
You don't have to. You did it 3 times.
I'm explaining myself to the people who are listening.
They heard you.
No. Greg knows I'm talking to him. Listen, I have a totally different tone when I'm serious and locked in with somebody. That's a totally, if I'm locked in and I love this person, I'm claiming her, it's a totally different dynamic. But generally speaking, if you talking about, you know, just like a breezy or something like that, I'm not doing all of that. I'm not doing like what you talking about, like thinking all ahead. Oh, maybe this and that. Like, there has to be a level of like really genuine care.
But the question
for that to be there, for me to be thinking proactively. Like,
but the question then becomes though, if she asks you, can she have some of your food? Are you going to share it?
Oh, I would.
It goes back to what Gigi is saying.
I would break bread. There's no way. There's no way. For sure.
I'm not telling you that her telling you no doesn't hold her accountable. It's just in certain situations, like, yes, you want to think ahead and you want to go get your food now, even though you might eat it 3 hours later. But if you're telling me that you're going out at 3 o'clock and you're like, yo, babe, you hungry? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. And now it's 6 o'clock and you just getting home at 5:30. I might be hungry right now. But and at that moment, no, I'm sorry I didn't tell you that I wanted something to eat. I didn't know that the quesadilla was going to smell like that in the bag when you brought it in. And
so
now
how
I'm
many
hungry.
times has this happened? See, the only thing that's the way you making it seem like, you know, fellas, this has happened to you so many times. Why don't you just do this? Why isn't it, you know, speaking to myself, like as a woman, like that. Why do I keep going through this? Why don't I just tell him that I just want something in advance? That's that's called accountability, actually.
Yes.
We've been here over and over, and it makes an argument.
And you're saying
that makes some type of disagreement.
Is this happening with the same person?
I think it's just a scenario.
I'm just saying
in
randomly.
In the scenario, is this the same person? Or are you doing it to random people?
Saying in general, like how you said, as men, we see that it happens all the time. Why don't we change?
Right.
When he's saying, why can't
the women take? That's where the accountability.
Because my thing is that, like, if you know that someone does it more than once, why are you not having that conversation?
If she knows someone does this more than,
and that is my argument. Women know.
It's like some type of test, man.
What do we know? What do we know?
You know what annoys the shit out of me.
So you know that I was hungry when I wasn't.
No. You know that once Greg has his food, Greg doesn't want to share.
Okay. And so, like, I'm going to say, especially like in this scenario, it's like, Are we getting food and I'm leaving? Am I at your house? Am I just staying there?
You don't gotta add all that to the scenario.
Because I want to know that if I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna be hungry anyway.
So if you know that,
Yeah.
because now you know that you're going to be hungry.
Yeah.
You just said you're going to be hungry.
What if I didn't want to eat what you got? What if I didn't want to eat quesadillas? I don't.
There's so many other things to say that I'm not hungry.
Okay.
Because when you say you're not hungry, then you don't want none of my food.
But I'm not hungry.
Okay, but you just said I know I'm going to be hungry later.
I'm using scenarios, Greg. I don't know why you guys keep
And
coming at me
I'm in the scenario.
So I'm
with
just
you.
saying is that like
You said if you want to expand on your scenario,
Okay.
let's say we are meeting at 10 p.m.
Yes.
And you are going to stay the night at my house.
Yes.
And I ask you, we're at the corner store getting snacks and shit.
Don't bring me to
and
the
I'm
corner
like,
store.
do you want something while we here? And you say no.
Not at no
you
corner
know
store.
that you staying at fuck the corner store. We at a Wawa, a Quick Check, a 7. I don't know. We're at some place that you can get groceries from.
Okay.
Forget food, groceries.
Okay.
And then I'm saying
you put us at Wawa.
we are. I'm getting this. Do you want anything? You say no, and you know you staying at my house.
Yeah.
You know that you're gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
You're gonna wake up
Yeah.
and be hungry. That's not foresight to say that maybe I should get something now.
Yes. I agree.
That's accountability.
Oh, okay. So when did I never say that there wasn't a problem with that? I'm just giving you scenarios of how that would make sense to me.
And that was a scenario that made sense to you.
That if I wasn't hungry,
So if she asks me, so I get me something for when I wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm eating with you. I'm automatically eating with you.
You knew when I told you I was gonna get something to eat, that when I brought that food home, it was gonna smell good, and you was gonna want it.
Yeah.
You knew beforehand, and you still said no. That you didn't want.
I didn't know.
Oh no,
I didn't know.
no, because you
that's
ordered your
accountability.
food with no smell this time.
Right,
you ordered your shit with no smell. You
It's
said, hell
always
no.
gonna have a smell. You
I
know
want
it's
Whopper
always
Junior
gonna have a
with
smell.
no smell.
I was
I
waiting to have that in the chamber, by the way,
hungry then.
because I was like, wait, y'all missing the logic. You knew when I was gonna come back with that food, it was gonna smell good, and you was gonna want some.
Yeah.
You don't know-
Beforehand,
you don't know if it's
when
gonna smell good.
no. It doesn't matter. You
Whopper
knew I was coming
Junior
home
with no
with food.
smell.
You knew it was a 50-50 chance that you was gonna like that smell.
That's
It's
fair.
food.
That's fair.
You already knew.
I mean, there's
you
been
knew
times-
when you was gonna smell
I
my
even go
food.
with
At
my
that
cheeseburger
time,
with no
but
smell.
maybe I
And
wasn't
most of the
hungry.
time, the dude is gonna tell you where he's gonna go. Well, I'm going to Chick-fil-A or I'm going here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and you know how that smell. And you know
Chick-fil-A
it's your,
with no smell.
Come on, that's accountability. You already know when he come back with that food, you want some.
Okay.
So why don't you just tell him to get you something?
Because I wasn't hungry.
Because I wasn't
then.
hungry then.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Bing bong.
I don't like that.
Bing bong.
You're not going to the next spot.
Fuck you like. Hey, fuck you
There's no resolution to that conversation at all.
And
that's fine.
No, but because I get it. I see the logic in the idea of me telling you that I'm hungry, even though I'm not hungry. So then there's food for me. So when I am hungry, got it.
I do appreciate you saying that the act of accountability doesn't have a gender. I do appreciate you saying that because you're right. It doesn't. It definitely depends on the person. It's just in my experience and the experience of others that I talk to and the thousands of people I interact with.
You had a
It is
position.
usually women that has a problem with accountability. And I'm going to leave it there.
From my experience, I'm just kidding.
Bring it right back around.
I've had some experience from some unaccountable.
And I think there's a lot of men who are unaccountable.
Okay, so let's just.
Well,
be
you
fair.
know, in all fairness, I hear what's very common amongst women who I've heard say that men can be cornered, and it goes back to infidelity. Usually, anytime I hear the lack of accountability is when it comes to cheating, even if red-handed. Like, you're cornered, the jig is up, nigga.
Yo, a nigga that is willing to lie, even when there's mad evidence against him, like he not until you finally get the
you gotta
picture.
keep. No, but that's actually what's taught. Like, yo, never admit, and that be driving women crazy. But that's one thing about me. No matter what dirt I've done, I still.
She got me red-handed.
Nah, I ain't. No, because see, that's accountability though. Because I was really about to say, like, no matter what, I still kept it real. Later. There were times. Yeah, it was later because there were times where it was like, yo,
like the Ninja Turtle, right?
Why are you still like just give it up? And then there was other times like, yeah. Shit.
Like, difference between a boy and a man.
Yeah. Like I was wrong.
And I disagree with that too.
No, I don't disagree.
Because you can find people who are like men who have accountability issues.
Because accountability doesn't always have to fall into the realm of relationships. It can be work. It can be just being on time for things. Like it's accountability could be a wide range.
Can accountability be too much? Accountability be annoying? I can give you an example of my accountability in a work environment that was like really it just didn't. It worked in my favor, but at the very same time, the pill was so tough to swallow that my boss, she was pissed, but at the very same time, she just had to let the topic go. She was like, explain yourself. Why? Explain to me why you are late. I was like, I'm wrong. I shouldn't have been late. But I was late. And I promise you, the next time, I won't be late. Is that all you have to say for yourself? It's like, what else can you say? So you want accountability when somebody just straight up keep that shit G, like, I was wrong. You have every right to be mad at me, Miss Z.
That
was you have every right. I said this. You have every right to be mad at me. I'm disappointed in myself. This is your third time late this week.
Mr. Clark, I didn't mean to.
Why were you late?
I've been in those situations where it's like you wanna keep going and reprimand someone. Like you wanna just keep going. But they owned up. What are you supposed to do in this situation now? Like I had all this shit ready for you.
Yeah.
Just ready. Like I was about to go to town on how fucked up you just been to me.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all you have to say?
Yeah.
And I could beat myself up too. Let's beat me up. Let's beat me up together. Yeah. After your go, it's my turn. Like, yeah, I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that.
You're not wrong.
I was irresponsible.
I've done that before. And it's like, I had a manager's like, gee, we need to talk. And I was like, yo, I know.
Come on, you free right now? Let's go.
I understand, man. I was like, that's messed up. I was like, what can I do to fix it?
Yo,
Tell me what I need to do to fix it.
You can save your job that way.
Just if you already told them that you're wrong.
Because they feel bad now. Like, especially if you go to the deep end with like, yo, we need to talk. Man, I know. Do you want me like give my shirt in now?
Yeah, do you?
Because I understand why I'm about to be fired.
And they go, nah, I'm not saying that. I just want to talk to you.
You just
like,
saved your shit.
Shit. I thought this was over. Yeah, no. I can say that has happened. But accountability is key. So, Thank you, but no thank you for the topic conversation. Cause
I know. I wish I would have kept my original.
But I'm not gonna lie. For the women that don't tell their men that they're hungry and then they're hungry, just be better. Or have snacks at home so then at least you can or Uber Eats works. Like at that point, just use his phone and order something. So we're moving on to the next topic.
We'll go to him or you.
I can go.
Go for it.
So my topic is it's about rejection, y'all. And basically, how do you guys handle rejection? And rejection can be in different forms. Not only just if you're trying to holler at somebody on a relationship level, but it can be at work, your family, friends, strangers. Have you guys ever felt rejected before?
I've noticed that I don't normally put myself in positions to get rejected very often. If I'm rejected, it just happened organically. Whereas there are people. Here's an example. I have a friend who they pride themselves in not being the most attractive guy, but they'll pull a badder chick than you ever will because they don't mind being rejected. So it's like a numbers game for them. It's like, okay, today I'm going to talk to 20 women while you may talk to 5 subpar women that you may feel like, yeah, I could bag them. I'm going to speak to 20 of the baddest. And out of those 20, I'm going to pull one bad chick. And he's groomed himself into being this guy who pulls only bad chicks. And he doesn't have the looks to match the quality of physical appearance that most guys would even dare to try to pursue. Mm-hmm. That is true. That's to me. That's commendable. You know that's what's the way you want? I want to word it. That's true rejection. You know, you're not scared of being rejected. I don't have that. And you know, I don't normally put myself in situations where I may be. If I'm rejected, it just happened. It just happened organically.
But when you do get rejected, how does that make you feel? You've been rejected in your life before.
Sure.
How did that make you feel?
How did it make me feel when it's very temporary. It's very temporary. But the reason why I mentioned the friend of mine is because he doesn't even blink twice. It's like, okay, no. Okay. For me, that may... Oh, I used to do cold calls at this. I used to sell loans at this company. And you have to be numb to rejection as it pertains to selling anything. So selling money, you know what I'm saying? You have to really develop this thick skin. And that shit would bother me. If I would hear the rejection, that would affect my next call. You know, people who aren't even fazed by it whatsoever. It's like, no, I know that 20 no's means I'm closer to 1 yes. Having that type of mindset, you know what I'm saying? I don't
deal with rejection well.
It sounds like I do.
That's what it says. If that's your outlook, that those 20 no's, those 20 no's get me closer to a yes, you have a great outlook on rejection.
No, I said guys who do that. It would bum me out when I did.
Oh, that it would
phase. it would phase my next call. Like when I would pick up that call, I'd be so confident. Da da da. We specialize in providing money for. I don't even remember the pitch, but when I would hear that no, it was like fuck, man.
See, for me, it depends on the scenario for the rejection, because I can't say I have one reaction to rejection. So if I'm in that call center and someone lets me get through my entire pitch and they tell me no, that's gonna hurt. Cause you had enough, like you gave me time of your day to give you a full pitch. That means you got to see my personality. And you told me no. You rejected me. It's like I was interviewing for this job for this church, and it was like a rigorous interview process where it was like 4 different interviews. Not on the same day either. It was like weeks at a time he was having these interviews.
Right.
I got all 4 interviews. It's like, if you get all 4 interviews, that means they really like you and they want you there.
You thought you was in there like
and I wasn't in there. They said, nah, we going with other dude. I was like, what?
Damn.
It got you.
Second place.
It just started to make you question it, not just your talent level, but it started to make you question yourself. I talked to 4 different people. I think once you get to know Greg, y'all think I'm joking. I am a great individual. When you get to know me, you gonna want to know me. Mm-hmm. You gonna want me around. You want me to be around you. You gonna want to be my friend. I have a lot of people that want to be my friend. Don't mean you my friend, but still, 4 people.
Right.
4 got to know me and told me no.
Okay. So my question would, I'm gonna bring this up because I still want you guys to answer the question is, how do you guys handle it though? I know now we talked about feeling, but like how did you handle it? Like with you, Mr. Rent Money, I'll go with Mr. Rent. Well, I'll go to Mr. Rent Money first. When in regards to that call center, although you said you were confident at first and maybe not so confident the next few calls, you still made those phone calls, right?
It was an up and down dynamic. I'd be bummed out, but then after I did a couple more calls, I build my nerve back, and I have the confidence in my voice. Somebody giving me some play, and then I get rejected. A true person who doesn't give a shit about that rejection is whatever.
Yes, but we're not talking about.
It always phased me.
On you.
I said that it phased me.
So what you did, although like it did phase you, but you continue to do it. So when you were handling this rejection, have you ever used that same form of like just continuing to try it again? I'm gonna use your music. That has been like a journey in itself for you. What has your journey from like learning to drum, becoming a producer, writing for people, being in these rooms, and then having to like basically start all over? Like, what has that form of rejection have done for you up until this point?
That's a very, very good question, because out of there's nothing. You can't tell me shit about music when it comes to my ability. You can enlighten me about something else, and I will add that to my knowledge. But because I'm so confident in my own ability, there's no level of rejection that can even faze me at this point. I've had the worst said to me to my face, but when I look at my own ability and I look at someone else's like tests, like I'm so far ahead, like, and I'm not even saying it like overconfidently. I'm saying it based off of what I hear, what I see, when I listen, when I compare even my musical ability to what is even on the radio. I feel like that is literally the only thing that no one can tell me shit about when it comes to rejection. When I want to be clear for the people who, I want to put that in the context. You can't tell me shit doesn't mean like I know everything. I'm saying you can't tell me that I'm ass and that fazed me. If you said it, it's like, okay, like.
So I'm gonna tell you what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that how you handle rejection is through your resilience. Is that as long as you believe in you and your craft and what you're doing at that point in time, you're gonna keep going. That's
For
what
sure.
I got. That's
For sure,
dope.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring it to you, Greg. So,
That
Greg,
kind of fucked me up. When you put it in that context, only because when I think of handle rejection, I'm thinking like, yeah, how did that affect you moving forward? Like extreme alcoholism or getting addicted to drugs or whatever because of
Right.
a rejection. Like that's to me how someone handled that rejection.
yeah, there's different forms of it, and so we're talking about it personally. So I mean, obviously, there's people that have different stories, but
Oh,
we're
for
talking
sure.
we're talking about it subjectively. We can't, like at this point.
So can I answer it that way?
For others or for yourself?
Myself.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. So like different, like you said, there's different types, different kinds of rejection. So like in that job scenario, the way I handled that was, I guess, coming to a realization. No, damn. Ooh, got me thinking.
That's why we're here.
How did I handle that? I don't know. I don't know. I can't say I handled it well because they called me 2 years later to see if I was available.
So that you said, so you did
And
handle
I said,
it well.
fuck them.
Oh, that's what you said.
Yeah. To the church. So I can't say I handled it well.
So you bypassed. Obviously, it was an opportunity of a lifetime. If you,
It
2
wasn't
years later.
It wasn't an opportunity of a lifetime.
So
I was looking
why-
for a job.
the way you were saying it, like, okay, this is going to be the shit.
No, it would have been a good job. Like it would have been well paying and benefits, and it was a great work. Like it was a great job for me it would have been a great job for me at the time. And I held it in such high regard. And for 4 people to get to know me and tell me no, hurt my feelings.
No, it wasn't about you, right, Greg?
It was about me.
And that's what I wanted to share. That but there's a lot of things when it comes to rejection that I found that, although like it's happening to us, it's really not about us.
It's true in some situations.
For the most part, because usually if whatever is rejecting you is not really about you, it's about them, whatever fits for them. And also it also can, if you think about it in a sense of just the journey and the path that we're on, that like there is going to have to be some form of rejection in order for us to kind of go to where we need to go instead of where we want to go. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but that's kind of a cop out because
think about times where like you didn't get what you want or quote unquote were rejected, but you're in this space, like you're in this certain space. Like I think about certain things that I wasn't able to do, or I'll use an example of a job. I went, I was working at this company and I had an opportunity to apply for a job. Everybody was already like, said like, Gigi, you got this, just go for it. I did it. And then they closed the position. They didn't even tell me anything. It just, time went by. I didn't know if they fulfilled it or nothing. I just found out that they closed the position. And at that point, now I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to like get out of this company because I felt like at this point, you guys set me up to just tell me no. But I realized like at that moment, like the business wasn't making money. They actually had let 3 other people go at that point in time. So it was kind of like understanding that, yes, it seemed like it was about me because they told me this job was for me, but in this, they wouldn't even be able to afford me. They would have to let me go before they've been able to keep me by putting me in that position.
So I'm clear on what you were saying before I start cooking.
Okay. You
are saying that rejection is not about the person who's being rejected.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's not about them. It's about the person doing the rejecting.
Or whatever the situation is. Sometimes it's not a person. Maybe it's a scenario.
The thing, whatever.
Yeah.
The object that's rejecting.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that can't be the case.
Okay.
Because when the term rejection is a relational term, where it takes one party to feel rejected. You only feel rejected if one party is rejecting you. So it affects both entities. It doesn't affect one more than the other.
I didn't say that it wasn't going to affect you. I'm telling you what it's about. I'm telling you what it's about. Like, so the rejection, like me saying that I don't think that you're a great fit for this organization has nothing to do with you as a person. Doesn't change the idea that you're a great person. Doesn't change the idea that you have a skill set. Doesn't change anything about that. It's just that what we're looking for in an individual, you just may not be that person.
Oh, I get what you okay. You on some positive shit. Got it.
Yeah, because that could be positive, but there has to be a number of times where that person may be the exact thing that the company is actually looking for. But what Greg is saying that you just overlooked me.
And it makes you feel less than.
And it could be. It doesn't. I don't believe that companies are always right about who they picked, who they chose to reject, and who they put on the roster. There are many times where just as quick as a company hired someone, they had to fire them. And the person that they rejected may have actually been what the company was looking for. But Greg is saying, like, yo, if you would have just given me a chance, I gave you all of the attributes that I possess.
Yes, I didn't say that.
Still
and obviously,
you're on some more positivity.
He makes sense. I'm not telling you that because obviously in his story, which makes sense, they come back to him 2 years later, realizing that they should have chose him. Right. So the thing about rejection is that when they made that decision, it wasn't like, oh, he was never the right person. Obviously, you were in rooms where they were just like, yes, he could be, but there was also someone else that they had an option for.
You're speaking in actualities. That's why. Got it.
I don't even know. What is that?
Because you're right. In reality, like in the actuality of it all, this company rejected me. It doesn't mean I'm any less of a video editor or I'm any less of a great person to be around or I'm any. Yes, that's actual. That's the actuality of it all. But the reality, is it the reality? Because it's not even the reality. I think
it's how you feel. It's how you felt about it.
Yeah, I was talking more about the feeling.
How you felt about it, and okay, and so and that's what I'm saying is that how you feel about it is understandable, but the idea of what rejection is, when you think about it as a whole, like yes, like it's something that you wanted. Obviously, you think the other party or the scenario wanted, and it's like a common goal, and then you realize that it's not the same thing. So yes, there's going to be one party feeling some type of way. However, it doesn't take away from that person or you. Like it never took away from your music ability, no matter what has happened, whatever has transpired. It didn't take away from you wanting to be like. And so, how I handle rejection depends on the playing field of what the rejection is and the type of mood that I'm in. Because sometimes, I always try to find a silver lining about everything, even in the worst of times, even when I don't even think that I can. I always try to find a way for this to make sense, why this bad, good, and different thing has happened and how we're going to move forward from it. And then there's times where I'm kind of like caught up in like this whole chaotic bubble that sometimes I just need to pop. And I don't take rejection well. And I kind of shut down. Like I just don't interact. I kind of just have this moment where I need to kind of like reset for myself. And it's not healthy because I never speak about it really. I just kind of like keep it in. I go ghost. And then when I come back, it's like I never left. And like no one will really happen. It's like I'm like a bleep. And I realized that sometimes when you are rejected, you should like sit in it, like stay in it, like feel it for a moment. Because again, like it's not about you. You're still your great person. You're still the person that you're gonna want to be, regardless if this is the fit for you or not. And sometimes, like building a bridge and trying to get over that doesn't help you appreciate you as as a person. And I think I felt like this week I kind of went into like this maybe where I felt rejected, and I kind of like got really, really sad. And it was just like, for what? For what? It was a temporary feeling that obviously whatever happened, but it gave me more time to rest, relax, recoup, like, and just kind of like center myself. And
can you say that you can in want to put this in the right way, because you triggered something. You said when you was feeling sad, like you said you should sit in it and say to yourself, like, why do you feel rejected?
Yeah.
Why? I think you should answer that question. I think there's a logical answer of why you feel rejected.
Yes.
I think you shouldn't minimize it.
No, I think that once you get to that, once you feel like, oh, like why you feel rejected, and you're able to understand that, I feel like then now you can move forward with it.
Understand.
Because at that point, if you're able to change it, let's work on that. And if you're not, now you understand it, and we're going to move in different ways for that not to happen again. So still like feel it. I realize that like what we do is that we don't, just like the way we consume music, we don't really sit in our feelings anymore.
We don't process shit.
We like something happened, we're like, oh shit. Like, and then we're on to the next news. Like, who else died? Like, what else is happening? And you're not really just appreciating every moment. Even just sitting here with you guys and just taking in like every Friday evening that we just spend time with each other.
I think the reason why we do that, especially our generation, is because we were groomed to do that at a young age. Like, you probably don't think about this often, but think about Rise and Shine, right? That sounds peaceful, right? Like saying, Rise and Shine.
Rise and shine.
It just feels, it's a song about it. But we grew up to rise and grind. That sounds peaceful. Like, every day you got to wake up and be ready to get it. Get whatever you need to get done.
Well, I guess that depends on who you're speaking to. Because, like, an outlook that I've been embracing is just that, embracing the process. Like, so whatever comes along with the process of whatever you may be doing, whatever grind you're on. Some people don't have their mind set on something. So whatever you have your mind set on, whether it be a new job, a new gig, or learning a new instrument, learning this or that, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be hurdles along with the rising and shining. But for me, along with the ups and downs, I'm appreciating everything that comes along with it. So like you're saying, yo, G, you know, you've been through so much with your music, and what keeps you from just quitting, you know?
Yeah.
No,
I'm appreciating.
I agree with that. Like,
when you said the rising and shining, though, you know, and you said it doesn't sound peaceful to one person. For me, rising and grinding pertaining to what it is that I love, even if it means I'm failing over and over, I understand that this is just a part of the process.
And I agree. I think, like, I agree with you. Like, you appreciate the pain. Like, you appreciate every situation that's happening along your journey, the good and the bad. And correct me if I'm wrong, but what I believe is that, especially like our generation, we don't even acknowledge the bad. Like, it happens and we just move on. We don't you don't appreciate like a bad scenario and look at it and learn from it. You just like, that shit never happened.
I could see how that is something that many people do. Just me. Okay, I would say this: me knowing you, me knowing you personally. I can name a couple other people who have been in your shoes, but their life did not turn out the way yours did. And it actually it is actually part of the reason why they have, they've fully wrapped their minds around their experiences, and they've let their experiences hinder them or define the current state of their life. You on the other hand, you rose to the occasion and you made lemonade out of lemons.
For sure. I think there's a mental toughness for sure. I'm not saying that it's necessarily well, I think it's a bad thing when you don't process, but you do need. Some people can't process things on their own. They do need help processing it. My thing is you just should just slow down, take a minute, and process it. Whether that's by yourself or with someone else, I think it's important to realize that this was a bad moment. I'm learning from this experience and then moving on. Not necessarily just moving on and just saying that this never happened. Think about, I feel like I'm the one that always gets dark. And I'm so sorry. But imagine...
He didn't say it.
Not even imagine, but there's so many people who were molested as a child.
Oh, okay.
And choose to ignore it. And I understand why you would choose to ignore it. This is not me saying that you are wrong for ignoring it. That is your trauma, and I can't imagine what you have gone through. But we see... I watch a lot of Law and Order SVU, right? And we see when someone is sexually assaulted at a young age and just choose to ignore it and move on without processing it, it comes to hinder their life moving forward.
So you're saying they're just gonna start killing people?
Well, not killing people, like it hinders them in other ways.
I was just sorry, I didn't mean to make light, but when you said you keep watching SVU, I'm like, that's the only thing that I keep putting two together. Yeah, that's all I keep thinking. It's just
no, and I mean in the latest episode, the dude was molested. He forgot. Well, he moved on from it. It did something. His molester died, and it triggered him.
This brings us back.
Did he cry? Or?
No, he went and touched a little boy.
This brings us back to our last pod where we talked about that's weird that I'm using the molester as an X, but do you see how something as someone that can happen so long ago triggers something that happens to someone?
That's
so
good.
Even though it may not, well, in this situation they were associated with each other, but something could have been associated through that time period where that person's associated with that could have affected the person once they died.
That is fair. That is a fair point.
Thank you, SVU. Dun, 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 dun.
That is a fair point. Still standing by my what I said last week. I forgot what I said, but there's a time.
You was building bridges, but then you said you were going to leave after therapy.
I build bridges all the
time. With that being said, I think rejection and all definitely is a feeling, and it sucks. But there's different ways that we can handle it, and I think that if we try to look, for the most part, it's not always easy to look at the silver lining of even the worst experiences. You'll see that there's a reason for it. And rejection is a blessing. So, you want to move on to the next topic?
If you could tell 14-year-old you one thing, what would it be and why?
May I start this one?
Yeah.
Do not listen to the doctors and your guardians because they told me not to take gym because of my asthma. When there was ways that I could have been learning how to breathe more effectively by going to gym class and doing some of these extracurricular activities. So I would tell my 14-year-old self, go to gym, don't take shot.
No, I took shop and I still
I
had
had
gym.
asthma actually, and I did just that. You know, I still fought through it. I didn't just listen. You saying it hindered you because you just listened to them, so you just were using it as like a crutch type of thing.
Yes, exactly. And now as an adult, like, as much shit I do between working out and just doing, like, I could have did that shit.
Yes, you could have. You would have had so much fun.
That shit made me mad,
You just
man.
thought I was going to be so vulgar.
You can't do that. You have asthma.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Gym was where it go down.
I went to all girls school, but I can understand. I can understand.
We saw some.
It was a great
ball
time.
joints.
Good time.
Excuse me?
I went to Lincoln.
I went to St. Dawn's.
Did he say?
Wait,
What did you
bald.
say?
I just heard bald.
I
And I
heard
ain't
long
thinking about-
joints.
No, I heard bald, and I wasn't thinking about Jordan.
Not ball joints, you know.
I heard we saw some long junks in gym.
No, I ain't say long. I never said long. Long never came out my mouth. What is wrong with you? I said bald joints.
What?
Listen.
I'm whatever, bro. Okay. What about y'all? What would y'all tell y'all 14-year-old self?
You want me to go? Because I kind of wrote something.
Okay.
I did. Okay. I said, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to love. You're going to be hurt. And you will be afraid. But don't ever doubt yourself. Jump when you want to fly and scream when you want to cry. Because all these experiences will teach me, well, okay, you. Sorry, 14-year-old self. How to use words and how to listen. How to ask questions and how to understand, but not to agree. Don't forget to live. And there are no wrong answers in this story called life.
When did you write that?
When we first were talking about it, before I started eating.
That's why you did. Oh, I thought you was talking about what he posted in the group chat.
No, I was gonna start texting, and then I think I went to bed. It was a week for me, Greg.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I was going to start texting something to that, especially when I saw
You said but.
No,
No, because I was talking about accountability.
Because I
understood how that sounded.
I said, but no, it's
I was referring to accountability. I'm sorry.
okay. I get it.
what?
You said
Yeah.
BT.
that's beautiful. That's a beautiful message to tell yourself.
That's really you got me upset because I really had something else to say and I forgot.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
But
Oh, what I wanted to say in the chat was I was going to respond because I thought what you said was so dope, and then what you said was nasty because I thought you said use condoms. Yes. I thought he meant I was like, why would you want used condoms?
Reverse that joint.
Like, why would you? But then I had to like read them like, oh, get used to condoms. And I was like,
Durex.
Get used
Durex just came out with a condom like that, a reversible joint.
why? Why would I want that? Why would I
It's
want
like lube on both
recyclable?
sides, so
No,
you just like,
no. Why?
and then the end of the video, and the end of the video was like, Durex, I've been reversing them shit.
That's disgusting.
That's nasty.
That is so nasty. You probably caught a rash. I don't even know what that is.
That's
No.
disgusting.
No, absolutely not.
Get used condom. Did I forget the 2?
What? I don't know, but like when I saw it, I was like, why would he want used condoms? Like, why would he tell us 14-year-olds?
That sounds like some nasty fetish, yo.
I was like, that's nasty, Greg. I'm like, what are you doing?
Just
Like, what you telling your 14-year-old self to do?
Pinning them shits.
Use condoms. I can find those. That was funny.
That sounds like a plot of a nasty movie.
You know what, Greg? Because you're the only one that would watch it. Yes, you would. You were nasty. You were nasty.
Like some deranged psycho was collecting used condoms and trying to grow this. How about you, Mr.
I would just tell myself to
walk away,
chill, not worry about relationships and sex. Like going in 14 and 16, both very pivotal, but 14 in particular, because that's when I knew, okay, I'm going to be home. 14, I'm going to be home. I'll be able to go home for lunch. You know, I'll have a lot more freedom when my mom's at school doing her thing. And this will be the first time that I'll be able to be home or potentially bring a young lady to my house and do the thing, because I had been wanting to just have sex, and without the proper guidance, I believe, of a man to, like, you know, channel that energy, because that's really what it is energy. I just wanted something to do with what I feel. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to release this, and if I could go back, I would just tell me to chill. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right if you don't have sex right now, man. It's going to be all right. It's nothing's going to happen. Like, the only thing I really wanted was bragging rights. I just wanted to go to my friends and say,
I had sex.
I was the complete opposite. I always liked to be the one that didn't have sex. I love talking about sex, but I was like so okay with not having sex.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get ass.
I would tell myself that even past the sex, because along with the sex came arguing within the relationship that I was in, and just dealing with very adult like things. That's adult shit. Like, why would I? There's no reason why I should be up all night, you know, arguing, or
you should just be focused on Pokemon.
I should be chilling. Just worried about regular 14-year-old shit. But instead, like, time is passing. I'm sitting here like looking for my next fix, you know, skipping class and shit like that. Although that shit was fun, like, but at the very same time, there's a lot more things that could have been productive, that could have been an addition to my life, aside from sexual activity. You know, it's very overrated when it comes to, like, you know, compared to just being a child and doing childlike shit.
Agreed.
Innocent shit. You know, that's what I would say. Just stick to being 14. Don't rush to get old. All these songs are said.
That's crazy because, like, we grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
And I would not tell my 14-year-old self that. Go be like them niggas. Get at.
Is you know, because I could see how you could see how, you know, it was fascinating because there was enough people around me to subscribe to what I was doing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I believe if I had, you know, a father or a male in my home who had the same type of ideals that I have right now that align with the way I'm thinking right now, I would probably be an entirely different person. Mm-hmm. You know, that was a lot of time, a lot of phone calls and staying on the phone all night and trying to game a chick, to have sex and all of this, and like, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. You know, you got babies in the mix and shit like that. A bunch of things that come along with sex that a child shouldn't have to worry about. You know, that's the conversation that I would have with 14-year-old me.
Can I ask you guys a follow-up question? Unless you have something else to say.
I had nothing.
Would you guys think that your 14-year-old self would listen to you?
Absolutely not.
I would. I was yearning for like a male that would show me. You know, I was just taking bits and pieces and making my own image of a man. Yeah. I was taking bits and pieces from like TV, and when it comes to sex, that aspect of being a man and growing up was put to the forefront. So that's only right. It's like everybody who I know, my cousins, any man who I know is like, yo, sex. Even my father, like, yeah, sex, but never ever telling me what could potentially become of this. You know, not letting me know all of the ways that my emotions would be changing while I'm actually chasing after sex, because you said it yourself, you know, a child's mind is still developing, you know, so along with the chemical changes that actually occur when you just have sex.
Yeah.
Even as an adult, like something happens to you chemically. So just how much more a kid that's still going through puberty and just thinking about sex all of the time and actually being successful with having sex and feeding that addiction, you know? Yeah.
I think when you think, if I had to think about 14-year-old Greg, that was an annoying motherfucker.
You don't say.
You ain't gotta shake your head that hard either, you piece of shit. But
Crook, Greg.
G-R-E-G. The nigga said Greg. 14-year-old Greg was annoying and looked for excuses to be lazy. So definitely probably would not have listened to myself today.
Can I answer this question?
Of course. Nah, I'm joking with you.
I would be like, in 4 years, you're going to get an email. It's going to tell you about this great opportunity to buy Bitcoin. Do it. And I would vanish. And I think myself would listen.
Yeah, you probably was looking for your future self at 14.
I've just always been a man of foresight.
Right. How about you?
But Bitcoin didn't make sense to me at the time.
It still doesn't make sense.
But it's things that make sense make money all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Look at religion.
I think I would question myself. I say, you sure? Write it down. But I think that even if I don't probably listen to me in its entirety, I definitely would take something from it. I would know that it would mean something. So, but I probably would try to question it.
Not me. I just know, because I didn't want to listen to nobody that was in my face then.
But it's you.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
Give a shit.
Wouldn't you know how to talk to yourself? That you would understand the
Nobody
message?
could talk to 14-year-old Greg.
That's why I would have to vanish. Because I knew that's the only way I would listen. I'd just tell you something direct and then just disappear. Oh, shit. I knew my 14-year-old self would be like,
did the fade out.
oh
Yeah.
shit.
And it was just him backing away from it.
I
He
gotta
did
look.
the fade out.
I gotta look
You saw
for this
him disappear.
Bitcoin. I gotta look for this Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I would have been 14-year-old me.
Yeah. And then
If
you
I would have been like just a person, just and then I walked out the door. What the fuck? Who this nigga?
Yeah.
But if I was to vanish, nigga,
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
taking
if I had to
heed.
convince myself to like take gym class, like me at 29, talking to 14, it would have to be like sex would have to be the influence.
Wow.
Yeah,
would you be vulgar with yourself?
most likely.
Don't nobody want no fat fuck?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, and you know what? I hope I come
would
visit
have to make
you.
yourself cry,
And I'm be
Greg.
like, it's okay.
If I know
they
you-
like
if
all
I-
sized people.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. If I know Greg, 14-year-old Greg, he would have to make him cry.
I definitely would. Yes. It would.
But 14-year-old Greg cried anyway.
But
Exactly.
that was the only times he really learned some shit.
You think so? Because he was crying all the time.
Drums.
Yo, fuck you, bro.
Playing the drums.
Crying.
Crying.
Yo, fuck y'all.
Greg.
Crying. He was crying.
That's what we doing? That's what we doing?
No, she jumped up. No, that was that flashback. Greg.
Yo, fuck all y'all.
Yo, I just every time with the big book bag on it, everything.
The joint that used to hang off the shoulders.
Mad.
Okay.
And they used to hold
This
this
is what we
strap
doing.
on his book
This is
bag
what we
too and
doing.
cry.
I like it.
It's okay, Greg.
I like it.
You a boss now.
Fuck
Back
all
then
that.
they didn't know you. Now you hot. They all on you, Greg. They all on you.
Nobody on me.
Damn, whole didn't want me.
Fuck y'all.
It's okay. That's exactly what you. Fuck you guys.
I hate you. I hate you. I fucking hate you.
This comes from the guy
I already know we can go in on myself.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
barricaded himself in a house for a week because he kept losing in the video game to get better.
That's dedication.
No.
I was
Some sucker
obsessed.
shit.
I was upset. I was trying
To the
hard.
point where nobody wanted
was-
to play the game with him no
I
more.
was real try hard, and thank God I've grew out of that, and just the need to be right.
You sure?
Yeah, pretty sure.
I love you though. I just want to say that.
I did not cry a lot when I was 14.
Yes, you did.
No,
Greg.
he didn't. He didn't. But when
I did.
you did make him cry,
No.
I cried a lot.
I didn't really make. I know personally, I didn't really make Greg
How
cry.
you know?
Because Greg, I was nice to you.
And you think so?
Yes.
I hate
There was no reason for me. You, Greg, you were just like so adorable. There was no reason for you to be mean. Now, Khalil.
But I've dealt with that my whole life. Everybody's always been mean to me. So
Yes, and that's how he always talk like that. Then you just be like, shut up. And you want to hit him because you be like, why you talking? Or why?
that shit. That
But
shit.
now-
See,
what
you
you
said
say-
everybody mean to you. You gave no context. Just niggas
Oh,
is
because
random.
I'm a dick.
Yes, he
I was
is.
there. I
He
was
is. Like it wasn't. We didn't. I
was
didn't
the
just
kid-
fight
I was
Khalil.
the kid that knew I was the sharpest tool in the shed.
No, he wasn't. That nigga was pointy, but not for the good reason.
No. On an intellectual level
He
and
tucked
just
his
the
uniform shirt in his pants.
just the common
didn't
sense
even
level.
run that
And I knew
fast.
that from early on.
I used to sling him off the stage. You're my guy.
You felt real big as a teenager.
Me?
She did.
The thing is that like I never thought that I was this short of a person, and like I always felt like I was like the same height as everybody else. I never felt small.
Oh, look in the mirror.
Now you do.
I mean that's different now, yeah, because I'm like a lady. But before, like
Oh.
I felt like I was like walking with all y'all. Like what? Like understanding that you were literally you were taller than me. I ain't
Still
care.
is.
But I didn't care. You guys made me help. Well, I just want to say you allowed me to feel like I was like 6 feet tall.
Was that a good thing? Because you sound like a bully.
Really? Now I'm thinking about it.
I was a bully.
No, she was definitely a bully.
I absolutely was a bully.
So I don't want you to thank me for thinking you was a bully.
No, you didn't think I was a bully, Greg. I never did anything to you.
I
You're
just
my
wanted to
little
be part of
brother,
the cool
Greg.
people,
Is it?
man.
You was part of the cool people. You just
wasn't.
didn't. You
I
just
was
wanted to
not.
go home.
No, I was not a part of the cool people.
You used to get
Greg
mad.
was
Will
the
just-
baby brother.
Yeah, and that's why no one
Always.
would bother him.
I was the little brother. I've
Yeah.
always been the little brother.
Yes, he's
though.
been a little brother, and that's why we beat you up. It was true. It was all out of love. But if anybody messed with Khalil outside of us, oh no, then that would have been a problem. We held you down. Held you down, Khalil.
They did physically.
Do you remember that time your glasses broke?
Yeah, yesterday.
They broke yesterday?
Facts.
They did?
Look at this. What's the name on the side?
Oh no, I was talking about like the time.
Oh
like, when your
shit! I was
glasses broke.
making that up, but that is fucking hilarious.
I didn't know that. No, I was talking
that was
about
a
like
good
back
joke.
in the day. Like your glasses
Yeah,
broke.
like
No, it wasn't okay. We was all like, ooh.
You taking away this moment.
yo, the glasses has always been like it's extra. Like, oh, the glasses fell off. Oh, his power's gone or whatever. Like,
I care about pictures. I used to take them jokes and fling them. I didn't care.
Sorry. So sorry. Like, oh, shit. Like,
that ain't never used to be no me. Nigga be
no,
having a
I'm
panic
saying,
attack.
oh shit, like if you make a mistake and hit a nigga glasses off, like, oh my bad, yo.
Yo,
I'm sorry. yo. You alright?
it's only
I'm no longer
not
a bully. I'm anti-bully. I don't think it's right to bully
we need bullies
anybody,
in this world.
any children. So no,
We need
So-
bullies in this world.
no, we don't.
We
No,
do.
we don't.
No, we don't.
man.
We do.
No.
Let me get off. Let me not down and say I'm joking.
You think
around.
what you mean is
No,
people
we
need
don't need bullies.
obstacles in order to grow and face.
It does need to be in the form of a bully.
No.
I've changed my stance. It was just a joke.
Okay, that's great.
I understand
because
how that could have easily went.
our children are extra sensitive now. in
Forget
these days.
children, humans. People get bullied as adults too.
Absolutely. Yes,
And
they
you
do.
getting bullied
And
as
I,
an
I apologize to you. I'm gonna apologize to you again, Khalil, because
Don't apologize.
all right, that's
It's okay.
She's
great.
gonna say "but" after the apology though.
I was frightened.
No, it wasn't.
I was already frightened. Nobody ain't know. I was frightened.
Those are great times.
For some,
I am Mr. Rent Money, and these are my conspiracy theories.
Honestly believe what you're saying right now? It's the truth.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is the segment of the show where I share with you my conspiracy theory. And this week's conspiracy theory, I will be talking about China's artificial sun, which is 5 times hotter than the real sun. You know, I have a few things that that may occur from this, may or may not occur from this artificial sun.
Mr. Rip Money, can we get a clarifying question? What you're talking about is that China made an artificial star.
What do you think the sun?
No. I'm
Is.
just clarifying. Like,
Yes.
Yes, that's a clarifying question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, a star. We're talking about a star here.
A sun,
Yeah.
a star.
No, I want people to grasp that they made a star.
Okay. Yeah. China, the sun, for anyone who doesn't know it, the sun as we know it is a star. That's the actual way a star looks. That's the actual, that's the best way to say it. China has made an artificially producing star, a sun, which produces 5 times more heat than the sun that we know it. I believe no good can come of this. I believe there will be natural catastrophes in places that we don't normally have natural catastrophes. All it takes is some type of malfunction from this artificial sun. That heat has to go somewhere right now. When it's, I don't know if it's actually, I don't even know if they've actually started it. But I know that this is something that they're working on. But when we talk about heat, you're talking about hurricanes and tornadoes, and heat has an effect on what goes on in the sky.
So, if I had to guess, if I had to guess, the good thing of, there is something good that could come from an artificial sun, especially one that burns 5 times hotter than the actual sun, right? So you are solving energy issues, right? Energy meaning so now you're not burning fossil fuel. You're preserving the earth now, essentially, because you're not mining for coals, and you're not adding pollution to the air and all that stuff, because this sun, and I'm gonna lay out what could possibly happen. This artificial sun, now every house, everything is ran on solar energy now because of this sun. Meaning that we're not killing the earth anymore with like electricity and all the shit that people, environmentalists, talk about. So in that sense, I can see how an artificial sun could be very beneficial. But I also see the flip side to that, like you said, that artificial sun could cause tidal waves that we don't even know about. Like,
and also extend the workday.
I don't believe any good would outweigh the bad that will come from that.
I agree.
Because animals, you just to say, just to say, solve these problems we have as far as preserving energy. I don't think that's just enough. That is a very self-centered human.
There's people that really believe there's an expiration date to Earth.
There is an expiration date to everything.
I agree with that, but I'm saying there are scientists who have come up with a definitive date of when the Earth is going to just be done. And an artificial sun is something that is a tactic, I believe, that they're trying to employ to extend that death date. Now, what they're considering, which is why I think it's dumb to even try to do this. But the thing is, think about human skin. You talk about something that's burning 5 times hotter than the sun. The regular sun already causes skin cancer and sunburn and all this other shit. So something that burns 5 times hotter is going to do way more damage to even the average human skin.
Or this just fully confirms that we're in a simulation and that it really doesn't matter.
I matter.
I mean, I'm not saying that you don't matter.
Or I'm matter.
Listen to the conspiracy theorists laughing at that. Like, I just found it funny that the conspiracy theorists laughed when you said that. Like, how could that ever be possible?
What, that we're in a simulation?
Right.
I mean, the idea that it's so hot, but then you were able to see people just literally watch it and record it, and to know that if just across the other side of the world that we're already having artificial things, and we know that we're able to already manipulate weather. At this point, we don't. This is what they're telling us, not what they've been doing. So what else have they been doing?
A whole bunch of stuff, man. Think about how many animals that, like, for starters, we need even down to the smallest insect. We need them all. All animals play, all plants, everything plays a role into us or into our survival.
It's called the circle of life.
We need all of this shit. How many more forest fires? How many more forest fires? How many more animals will be extinct? Land that should be moist will be dry and bare. Like, I don't believe the good will outweigh.
Absolutely
the
not.
bad.
The bad is definitely what they should focus on.
When I think about that, even when I think about the episode on The Simpsons when there was like a tsunami in New York City.
Mm-hmm. You see Day After
That
Tomorrow?
doesn't sound that. I've seen the advertising, and that's like one of the main clips that they would show in the commercial. You know,
movie.
It's like that doesn't seem very far-fetched to have a tsunami hit New York or somewhere nearby.
Yeah,
when you
think
have
about Hurricane Katrina. Not Katrina. What was the one here? Sandy. Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah, but when we talk about a hurricane is one thing, but a damn tsunami that's lifting up like the whole damn ocean and pushing that shit towards.
I think at that point, I'm not running. It's done. Like my fate at that point is sealed. The only thing I can do is repent. I'm not running. What am I running from?
You might as well just pee on yourself and everything.
I'm doing everything I ever wanted to do at that one. As much as I possibly can do in that 1.5 seconds, I'm gonna like piss on myself. I'm gonna shit.
He gonna go jerk off in the corner.
All that pee just come out. Oh, shit.
I might pull my pants all the way down.
I'll start shaking it like.
Man, we are we living in very strange times, man. Like, what are we doing, man, as human beings? Like, and I'm speaking for these scientists as well, like Elon Musk, all these people, man. Like, what are we doing here, man? What are we doing?
That's what they're trying to figure out.
What are we really doing? Like, there has the exact way you think about some diabolic Doctor Strange mastermind, mad genius, quote unquote, that's sitting back like, yo.
It's man wanting to be in control. It's our nature. It's like we want to control every aspect of everything. And when we can't, we start doing dumb shit like creating artificial suns.
And this is actually had to be something that was in the making for years. Like, cause I read it's $1 trillion sun. You look it up, it's literally $1 trillion. You invested trillions of dollars into this. What's wrong with the sun that we have?
Yo dollars. Hey yo dollars. Hey yo dollars. That's the real travesty. That's the real travesty of it all.
But we're here. So people, everybody, what do y'all think about what do y'all think about this $1 trillion sun? I'm not saying you guys. I've already heard you say something about it. I'm speaking in general to the listeners. What do you guys think about that? Do you feel like this is something that can be beneficial, or is it just flat out insane to make another sun where there's already one?
Tap, tap, tap in.
I also thought about the idea with the Rona outside and how, like, we know that, like, during the summertime that the numbers are lower. So maybe they're even going to use that to their advantage to try to eradicate it.
Oh, we killing Rona with fake suns out here. Fake stars, people.
And it's
How do you...
atomic.
Well, stars are atomic by nature. That's why it's called quantum physics.
When I just now reiterated that or said that, I'm saying because we're thinking about when you think about an atomic bomb or something like that. Like, what if this joint, like I said, malfunctions? Mm-hmm. All of that energy has to go somewhere, and it's not just going to stop at China. Like, boom,
It's another Big Bang.
that joint could literally take out a good most of the earth. Like, oh man, nothing.
Taking out half. Ooh, I would move to LA. Or would LA get hit?
You would stay your ass right the fuck here.
Oh yeah, I'm safer here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
I
safer
do.
here.
I do believe this is the place to be.
Yeah, LA gonna get fucked.
It's like the middle ground, like the North Jersey City area.
Yo, do you just think you feel like Jersey City and Newark are just gonna survive everything? We like cockroaches?
Yo, because
Wow.
it's where we positioned, it's like we branched out. It's like where we positioned, it's
perfect.
like perfect kind of. And that's
That was
why
a
we
really
only
bad
deal with the
analogy.
4 seasons. We don't really deal with, we get hurricanes, but it don't really.
People deal with people from other places deal with real shit.
Right.
Like real. Even I don't want to shit on Sandy, but when I compare Sandy
To Katrina.
to Katrina,
That's because we're more prepared. Our grids are more prepared for that type of stuff because we go through the 4 seasons. Down south, their power grids are trash.
Yeah, like when Texas got snow.
Power grids.
They didn't know what to
They
do
didn't know
themselves.
what to do. What in tarnation is this white stuff coming from the sky?
No state taxes.
hey yo,
That's the downfall from no state taxes. There's no money to go into that stuff.
They was outside with their guns and hats on like, dear Lord. Joel Osteen came out and tried to do a prayer. It ain't work.
Because he had to... Never mind.
He had the money in the hole.
Let's go stay in the toilet. Don't put in the wall.
I'm just saying. We good?
yeah, I'm good.
Alright. New dialogue. Time to show. No, it's how we end every show. We have many quick topics of things that we think are interesting that we want to talk about and bring to the forefront of everything. So, new dialogue. Who would like to start?
I'll stop. I just want to propose a question. What do you want from life? From your life? What do you want? Is there anything that you want in particular? Is there anything that you're seeking after every day diligently?
Joyful moments. I feel like those moments you never forget. Not happy. Happiness is a fleeting feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Joy is forever. So I would say I'm always looking for joyful moments.
Mine's is passion.
What kind of passion?
Passion from wherever. Whether it's your passion for music or your passion for podcasting or passion for like being a father. I like to experience that. I like to enjoy other people's passions.
Cool. How about you?
Every day I wake up, I want to be a better musician. Every day, every single day, before bed, like I'm always. I'm not just trying. So when I ask myself that question, I don't take it lightly. I understand that there's a different effect when you're intentional about wanting something. So I don't even want to make it about my music, but in general, it's very different when you're intentional about the shit. It's one thing to just wake up and then just let shit happen. Connecting the dots, but I've been very, very cognizant of making effort toward what it is that I want. And as I shared with you guys, I was nominated as Rookie of the Year for my production, and being that I was acknowledged as Rookie of the Year, that lets, thank you, I appreciate that horn. That lets me know, like, oh shit, it's not just me. I'm not tripping. Like, I'm out here, like, really. Yeah. Somebody else is acknowledging
ain't just
my
me
shit.
Either.
Right? Because I really. And I want to point that out. The fact that you said it ain't just me. I really thought it was just like, that's just my bro. Like he hit some type of epiphany. He just want to be handing out good vibes all day to.
No, I still hand out bad vibes.
Good vibes and shit like that. But that let me know, like, yo, since I'm out here like really intentional about what it is that I want, it's paying off in some type of way, some type of level. And I encourage you who's listening, be intentional about what it is that you want from this life. You're alive, you're breathing, and you have a chance. You woke up again, and if you wake up tomorrow, you have another chance to work on your shit. Whatever that may be, find it. I said that last week. I want to reiterate that. Find your shit. Find your shit, man.
You should get that on a shirt.
Find your shit. Find your shit.
Okay, boys, you want to answer that question?
I wanna be the very best.
Okay,
no
get off the
one
mic.
ever
Get the fuck off the mic.
To catch them is my
Why y'all doing this?
test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. These Pokemon will understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch them all. Yeah.
I know it's a destiny.
Pokemon,
oh, you're my best friend.
In the world we must defend.
Always try to be your best.
Gotta catch them all so
At
true.
whatever you are.
The courage to pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon.
If you're a Pokemon master like me, be a Pokemon master.
Pokemon, gotta catch
Be your
them
best
They
at whatever.
don't make
This
theme
week's
songs.
this
They
week's
don't make
episode
theme
of
songs like that anymore.
Let's catch 'em.
Yo, stop. Y'all bugging.
Now that fucked me up. The fact that nigga name was Giovanni.
Oh,
his
Team Rocket.
nemesis.
Team Rocket boss.
Yeah,
The boss was Giovanni.
8th gym leader.
Wow, y'all got issues. Is that your answer?
Yeah, man. I just want to be the best. I just want to mama mentality, man. I want to be better than I was yesterday.
I like that.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
I could go next to new dialogue. My new dialogue is myself.
Hey.
I had a very it was a surreal moment. Anybody knows me knows growing up wasn't easy. Blah 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 blah. Had a lot of help from a lot of outside forces that wasn't my family. And today, a family member had an issue that I was able to help in a way where when I was their age, I had to ask for outside help outside of my family. She was able to ask her family, and her family was able to help. And I thought, and I was thinking like, this is big. Like even if it goes to shit, I was still there.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a position to help when
Shout
no
outs
one
to
was
you,
in
Greg.
that position for me.
That's
So,
awesome.
but that was dope. That was something that happened today. That
You're
was really dope.
amazing.
Appreciate that.
Today.
Yes, I am.
I love that. That was really nice.
That reminds me of this Instagram clip I saw with the guy was like, you know, if you stub your hand into the door and you pull it out, not only does your hand react, but you might jump and say ouch. Now, your feet wasn't the thing that actually got stubbed in the door. Only thing that got stubbed in the door was your fingers. But just like that example, if your friend doesn't react off of your pain, the hand, you know, the finger,
Yeah.
is that really your friend? You know, just, there should be some type of reaction to what you feel.
Not always.
Part of
Greg, don't do that.
a part of the.
I don't.
You see, but it's I thought about that. It's your way, like, and it's basically what you said. You said where some people it's like, I just want to nurture you and dwell in what is happening. Let's just keep talking about what you're going through. Whereas you're like, heard you. Let's do something about it.
Yes.
And it's
that's
not
definitely-
like yo, let's sit here and just talk about
I don't wallow.
this bad thing that happened.
He
How
doesn't
can
process.
how can we solve this problem with the coldest face that I have right now? Like,
Yeah.
how can we solve this problem, but still get into the root of it? You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's what a friend is for.
I love that.
No doubt.
That's awesome. Okay, so my new dialogue, it's like a variations of a few again. This week, I was able to reconnect with some parties that I wasn't connecting with before, and I feel really good about it. So shout outs to that, and just growth and progress, and people just, you know, finding better ways to cope with rejection. So shout outs to me and everybody that ever had to deal with that. And then I watched Ghost Power Book. Are you guys watching that? You guys
I definitely
tapped into that. No?
Yo,
I haven't seen one.
50
episode.
Cent has created his own multiverse.
I
This nigga
love
created
that.
his own MCU.
I think that's dope.
I think so. Nobody want to give him credit for it though.
No, why? I think we're continuously giving credit by watching
we
it.
are. I'm talking about like the Emmys. Like, why isn't these shows nominated for Emmys?
Well, you have to understand who's watching these shows and who is in charge of the Emmys.
go on a
But
whole-
I can't, because I've met some people that tells me stories, and especially when Empire was out, I was like, you watch that?
I
But-
thought Empire was dope.
I like the first
First couple
two
of seasons.
seasons, yeah.
Then it got weird.
Yeah.
But back to
And
Power
then,
Book. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a good episode. I'm realizing that I'm running out of things to watch on on streaming platforms, where I've now gone back to like books, and I already told you guys what I'm reading currently. But I've been like listening to podcasts and books now because I don't see anything to watch. But I thought that Ghost Power Book episode, it was good. It was good. I'm thinking that Tariq is actually coming into more of acting. Before, he used to irritate me when he acted, but now I'm okay with his character, and so
I think Tariq saying St. Patrick, the kid that's playing, can't think of his name right now. I honestly think he's doing a really good job because he is reminding me of a preppy kid who lived in the suburbs and is trying to be hood.
But that's the thing, is that like, are you trying to be hood when you were surrounded by it the whole time? Maybe not like you weren't like submerged in it, but obviously like you knew about guns already. Like there was still like, you were still attached to a lifestyle, although you weren't like eating, I don't want to say oodles and noodles.
No, you're still trying to be hood. You're trying to be hood because like you don't.
Is it trying to be hood or trying to understand who your father is?
I think it's trying to be hood. I think you can understand who your father is. You understand he was a drug dealer and all that stuff.
How you never had a relationship with him?
Nah, I think it's more of he's still involved in hood shit. It may have been on a different level of hood shit.
Yeah,
but it's still hood shit.
He chose to be a part of that stuff though. I think like he was actively seeking it out.
Well, did he actually choose then?
He did.
Well, think about the kids that's in the hood. They actively seek out that stuff. Why? Because their male role models are doing that shit.
You're right, and I understand that. We grew up in the same neighborhoods. We didn't choose that.
Right.
Yeah,
but if that's your vision of success, of growing, you grow up in that environment, and that is how your father got successful. How else do you know how to be successful?
Let's be clear. The environment that Tariq grew up in is a penthouse, going to private schools. Not really big. He actively searched.
Mafia kids go to private schools.
Okay, but you're also taking into account that you're saying in an idea of a storyline, but you're making it seem like he was dumb. Like they knew what their parents were doing. You're not gonna say he was oblivious to that idea. And also take into account that because of who his dad was and the people that he actually were interacting with.
I knew what my mom was doing, but I didn't do it.
Yes, Greg. But at the same time, you were also not submerged in it. You were removed and you were raised by other people.
Not at first.
Okay, now imagine if your mom was very successful at it. Then what would your mindset be?
But at the time she was, because I was still with her. She was still providing
No, on the success of Ghost though.
That's what I'm saying. Like success is relative. Like it's like
no, but it's different when you grew up. Even though your mom was successful, you still watched TV and was like, "Damn, look at that mansion on TV. Look at those cars. Now imagine
you got to that level,
right?
Okay." But my thing is still this. It's not like his father. You can find out what your father is doing, cool. But no one was introducing it to you. Like nobody was telling you to come along and do it with me. He was actively seeking out to do it.
To be his dad.
No, to show his dad that he can do it.
There's a lot of gangsters out here right now who got that same story.
You don't need to do this.
Did you ever see them actually have a relationship on the show?
He tried to. And every time James tried to have a relationship with Tariq, Tariq would bring up the gang life shit.
Yes, because that's when you understand that your child is not dumb, and it's better for you to sit there and tell them what's going on than for them to put it together or have someone else
Will you tell your son, yes, this was the life I lived, but this is what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to get out of this and be and he's still saying no. I want to know.
Because you're still not telling me, look, and maybe... Because this is how I also kind of see it in a sense, not taking up for Tariq because he was doing some stupid shit, but when you realize, like, when you're growing up, especially like for me, like I don't see faults in my parents. all I've seen in them is this them being their greatest selves, making sure that I achieved whatever I needed to achieve and be great. But then there's times like as you get older that you want to understand like there were hard times for you too. Like, I want to see the human in my parent. And when my parent keeps telling me that, like, I've never done anything wrong, but every time I'm seeing you do these things wrong, and all I want to do is live up to your image, and so I want to get to know you, but you keep pushing me away. Instead of, if you saw the dynamics of him and 50 and him and Ghost, it was like you saw that the reason why 50 and him were able to be so connected is because 50 was just real. And the only idea that 50 actually introduced him to it. 50 could have told him what it was, but then told him to do this thing instead.
But James did tell him what it was.
No, he didn't. He was very vague.
No,
I need you
towards like especially the last season that James
last
did.
Season.
Okay, but
the
still.
whole time he's been looking for, and his dad was outside in some other woman's coochie, not even worrying about his kids.
You know what? It's a fucking fiction.
All his
show.
kids
I'm
wanted
not
was
getting-
his attention.
I'm getting worked up
you
over
don't
fake
have to.
shit.
All you yeah, you did. All
I'm
he wanted
mad now.
But it's the truth. But all he wanted was his like dad to like put him in a car, ride with him, understand that like you can do this, but you don't have to do this, but understand the game. And then the idea is that you have a dad that's telling you that you don't have to do none of this, but then you have a mother that's telling you that I need you to know how to do this, even though I don't want you to do this. So now you have a household that's split. You got a whole scenario where mom helping me figure out a whole operation and how to set it up, and dad's telling me that I should never even know about it. But I know what's going on.
Oh, that reminds me of the only thing I did see on the commercials. You want me to be your head or your son?
Okay. See?
Both. That's what
I think that was
Mary J. Blige
Kanan.
said.
I think that was the Rising of Kanan. I think that's
Oh yeah, it is.
and that was that one too, which was good too. That was
was
good.
Kanan mom.
That's
was, like,
another.
good.
That was another.
She was like, she's beautiful.
I'm talking about Mary J. Blige.
No,
No.
Mary J. Blige is a terrible actor.
I think she's getting better.
I think she's getting worse every episode.
I think she's getting better.
like she is bad.
I think Method Man is amazing.
I think Method Man is a great actor.
I think he is phenomenal.
Mary J. Blige is bad.
I don't think so. I think she's getting better. I've seen her in other shows too, and I think that it's understanding that in her character that although we're looking for more emotion, but maybe that is who her character should be, is someone with less emotion. Like she's talking, but you don't know if she's.
It's not believable. She is.
It's funny because you really try to justify her bad acting
Is bad.
with that like mundane. I don't really know what you're talking about. My first impression of Mary J. Blige acting was on the Jamie Foxx show. Remember when she was on there?
She got too much camera time. She has
It's Mary J.
too.
Blige though.
And she probably drew in some viewers, but she probably drew some viewers. I'm done.
Nope, I'm done with that.
It makes me wanna. Ow.
Yeah, that was my new dialogue. Also, my pod is coming, and I'm excited about it. And I hope y'all tune in and y'all tap in because I've been letting y'all know some things. Anything else before I close this out, you guys? Thank you so much, everyone, for making it this far. We appreciate you so much for, listening to us, talking to you, listening to us. And with that being said, Greg, you want to let them know how they can find you and how they can find us?
Find us on Twitter and Instagram, just the Convo_pod. Join the conversation, people. Join the conversation. It's fun. You can also follow me on Twitter at Gregisms with a Z.
Awesome. And Mr. Rent Money, you can let them know how they can find you.
Google me, Mr. Rent Money. It's gonna pop right up. You'll see nothing but moi and the podcast, of course.
Just a conversation with.
Just a conversation with Greg, Mr. Rent Money, and Gigi.
I like that. And Blaze, you want to let them know how they can find you?
On Twitter, Blaze versus your mom. Hey, I'm gonna do a better job promoting myself.
You promise that every week, and it doesn't get any better.
He don't even promote himself on Twitter. So it's how you
Yeah,
gonna
you're
do
right.
it
I
on
don't even
his?
see him
This
on
nigga
Twitter.
likes one tweet every 20 years.
I've never seen him on Twitter.
He don't tweet. He just likes shit.
You know, it's okay. And
You just see
This is
Cuddy's
true.
Homes.
What you said? Cuddy Soames.
That's your name. Your shit
Yeah.
says Cuddy's Homes like this. Where's your own thoughts, Khalil?
Yo, you know what? You right. Sometimes the world needs my thoughts.
well, that's why you're on this pod sometimes. So with that being said, and you guys, my wonderful, amazing individuals, you can find me on Twitter at gcarly7, and that's GQARLY and the number 7. Follow me, y'all, and I'll follow you back. And with that being said, if you forgot today, if you don't remember today, if somebody told you no, just remember there's a yes around the corner today. I want you to always and forever remember to go be great.
Rent money.